Alright, welcome back everyone. I hope everyone had a really great week. We're going to play a different type of game today. What you have in front of you is a picture find. And you and your partner, the person you're next to, are going to work on it regardless of what I do while you guys are working on it, okay? So go ahead and flip them over. And just try to look for the pictures on the...
It's a banana. It's so fuzzy. Oh, envelope. Envelope. I found it. And then that was a pen. There was a toothpick. Nice. Well, woo!
Look at the button.
You gotta read them. Where's the button? She said she's trying to button.
Over my dead body. I've got to cover it so they can't see.
Found the color.
Order.
Yeah, they're doing pretty good.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not going to candle.
Found that. Good.
Oh, okay.
Nice. What was that? Awesome. Oh. Oh. What is that? Nice. Nice catch. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that candle is going to be disgusting. Yeah, it's going to be, I think, maybe? That's it?
Yep. I think I found that.
Can you find it?
Got it.
Yay!
You what? Stop! There's no way you guys are that close.
Not a competition,
Oh,
guys.
I thought we already had
Banana. Oh, that is it. Perfect.
Found it, John.
Okay. Alright, here's our
No, I still want to finish. Where's the candle?
You guys can definitely finish. No one.
Where's the candle?
Right there.
No.
Oh.
Come on, that's part of the book. That doesn't count. What about a toothbrush?
I don't know about you guys. I have one that's supposed to be doing
I
picture
kept looking at it. I'm
finds.
like, I want that to be a toothbrush. But
No.
toothbrush. I don't know.
Is that for real though? Do you have like the key?
I don't have the key. I'm sorry. I will try to find one for the next one.
We
and
are
I'll
the
let
key.
you know.
Yeah.
So
You and me? No,
how
you're
was
friends.
it doing the word find with all that nonsense going on in the background?
It's really distracting.
It was
At
very
first, it
distracting.
was
Yeah.
super distracting, but
Because
then
I
like,
was trying to look at the
eventually
pictures
I was
and
like-
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
just super focused
I
on it.
couldn't focus my eyes at all.
Yeah, I think that competitive spirit going on probably helped with that a bit. But
Straight up.
imagine that's how things were like all the time. Like how if every time you go into a store, it was just like a sensory overload, like flashing lights because like the fluorescents are off a little bit, and if someone has a TV on in the back that's just really loud and white staticky noise, and that's kind of a really rough way of explaining how it feels like to have autism, because certain sensory like receptors are just more turned up than others. Like they hear things louder than some people do, they see things as brighter. It can be very, very distracting. Like the processing is just a little bit different. So it can be really upsetting as well. Like, you're trying to work on something and you really want to get it done, you really want to do it, but it's just too bright, you can't see anything clearly, it's just flashing. It can be really upsetting and you can, just feel really angry. So I'm going to do another one. I'm going to need your participants. Rachel and Val? Okay. Here's a fun little one. Rachel, you're going to use this board to list these sentences and convey them to Val using only the board. So the first one.
I want fruit. I want apple. I am sick. Candy? I am sweet. I am yucky and candy. You have a stomach ache?
Okay. For the next one.
Too loud.
Okay, the next one.
I am sick and tired.
It's really difficult. Yeah. The last one was I feel dizzy.
Really?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. So we're gonna flip it around. So Val's gonna do the other list of sentences, and you're gonna try to guess what they are.
You want to go to eat, to get food.
Yeah, I started off with a hard one on that one. Sorry. A couple more guesses, I'll tell you.
Go to the store, the grocery store.
That was awesome. Okay, next one.
You want to go to the bathroom.
Okay, next one.
You want to go the bathroom. You want to go to bed?
That one's real hard too.
Bathroom time.
Yeah, that's I want to go home.
Oh.
Yeah. And then this last one
Okay,
is
that was
very
good.
I'm sorry, you got really difficult ones. I'm sorry.
Just like
I should have switched these up a little bit more.
okay.
Food. Yucky. You feel yucky? You're not hungry? You need to throw up?
Yeah, that one's this food makes my stomach hurt. So it's hard to explain because usually it's I like or I don't like. So it's I don't like these food. It's harder for them to say like because it makes me feel sick. Because they can always explain that. So really annoying, right? Like what if there's something on there and that happened a couple of times in the examples, what if you wanted something that's not on your board? Like you have to really come up with some really
It's like a really complex game of charades.
yeah, pretty much. And if that's like
But it's for
You're
a little
aware.
kid to try and explain.
yeah, like
the mistakes aren't like a game. It's like,
yeah, it's like this is a big deal. Like I need to go to the
You're like-
bathroom like now, So that can be really, difficult. I mean, it's very helpful for a lot of things. It really helps, learning vocalization skills, verbal skills, how to communicate the best they can. A lot of kids also have a program on iPads, which is great. Like, the technology age has done wonderful things. So if you guys want to take a look at that, I actually have kind of an example of what that looks like. You can click on different categories, but you have to learn what they mean first. That's the hard part about learning them, is someone has to actually go through and show what each of these things mean. So if you guys want to take a look, you can pick
I
through
remember
it.
my brother had one of those, but it was big too,
Yeah.
and it had like only so many buttons.
Yeah, some of the programs only have a couple.
You can add like new ones to this?
For this one, I think you can. There are some that are completely customized. You can put your own picture on it. Like, instead, when it says "I am," it's got a picture of me.
Okay.
And those are
cool.
really cool. A lot of them are covered as far as insurance is concerned. It's a little bit tricky dealing with it, but they have different programs with it. If you have it on the iPad, there's free version, there's expensive versions, there's moderate ranged versions of it.
I want 2 eggs.
Well, I mean, sometimes that's how they
Do
would
you
write
want to
sentences
make
too.
eggs?
Like, I want to make eggs, but they don't know what make means yet, so they want eggs. So
Where did you find eggs?
Under food. Hit the
Oh.
food category.
Now, do some of these actually, can some of these be verbal?
yes, actually, I think that one.
It can talk?
Yes, they actually do talk. So if
Sweet.
say you're nonverbal and you have one, you can actually just hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You hit play, and it'll
That's what I thought.
basically be your voice. I mean, it's
I fooled you.
Oh, so it's like it's not like recorded, it's like.
yeah. I mean, there are some that you can record. It could be like your mom's voice, your
That's
dad's
super cool.
voice, teacher's voice.
Ja.
That was duh. That should have been duh. But.
And that's the cool thing
They
is-
really include like, and there's like a
No,
insult
there's
category.
Yeah, like I fooled you. Yeah, that's all.
Oh yeah, they have like a joke category. Like, you can write things like if you learn how to spell. Some of the kids, they can spell, they can write, they can read, but they can't just vocalize it as well.
My name is.
My name is eggs.
But then where's the name?
Keyboard. You can go to
Oh, and then I could put in my
yeah,
name.
you could put in your name. Typically, if this was yours, you would have it programmed in already. So.
Tony.
Tony, cool. Awesome. That's pretty fun. But now imagine you're in school and you're trying to do like a group project, and no one has their communication board, and no one has their program, their Dynavox, whatever they want to use. What would you do?
I would probably just do it myself.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you could use like an epic charades, pointing and gesturing, like what we're doing with this. It's like we're trying real hard to convey one sentence. A lot of times you just want to do it yourself. Forget it, I'll do it myself. And that's similar to kind of how kids with autism feel. They're like, well, I know how to do it, let me just do it. And they usually, not always, but sometimes they have trouble playing with each other because it's hard to convey the ideas they have to somebody else. So, did this exercise help you understand a little bit more about your siblings, about how they're experiencing the world?
Yeah, if it was me, I'd be really angry, like all the time. I'd just be so frustrated in there that there isn't a better way for them to get through the day.
Yeah, researchers are always looking for new programs and tools for the kids to use. So hopefully it'll just keep on improving. Like, 10 years ago we didn't have the iPad with, their voice on it. So they really had to work with these all the time, like booklets of pointing, which we all saw how annoying that was. So, and it's really important for educators and families to work on the skills they need to use them and to begin being more verbal and communicate better. Different things work for different kids. Some kids just can't grasp, I guess, really the communication board. It doesn't work for them. It's, you know, different stages of their life too. So, and then some kids just don't want to use the iPad. It can be difficult, you know. So now that we've looked into what it's like to have autism, what does it mean for you to have a sibling with autism? There can be negative, positive, neutral aspects of it. Things that are more difficult for you, or feelings that you might have because of it. Would anyone like to share any of that?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Sometimes my parents don't have the time for me that I wish they did. My sister needs a lot of extra help, so they spend a lot of time with her. It makes me feel a little lonely at times because I don't have any other siblings to play with.
Yeah, I feel like that too. My mom is a single parent, so she has even less time. And I know that she relies on me a lot. It makes me feel lonely sometimes, but I also feel proud of our family for doing so well despite the struggle. We're lucky to have a worker come in once a week, so my mom and I can go shopping or to a movie or to do something together. And we do stuff with my brother too, like we color, we watch movies at home.
That's great. That is a really great thing for you guys to do together. You all seem very close to your siblings, and that's a very special gift to have. It takes a lot of strength and patience to go through the struggles that are just every day. And sometimes it requires that we grow up a little bit sooner than we would like to. So what other skills do you guys think you've gained from taking care of a sibling with special needs?
Well, like sometimes me and my parents have to be real creative in like problem solving and figuring out what's wrong.
How so?
Well, like if my brother gets real upset, we have to figure out ways to make him feel better. And sometimes we have to do certain things to like keep him safe, like to make sure he doesn't leave the house without us, or like he's not allowed to like light candles or turn on the stove or anything like that.
Okay.
A lot of times it's just like trial and error to like figure out what to do. So we have to have like a whole lot of patience.
Yeah, that's very true. And the problem solving skill and understanding of others' needs will really benefit you in other aspects of your life too.
Yeah, my sister and I are really close in age, so I feel like I understand her better than other people, and I can speak up for her. I'm not sure that's really a skill though.
That's kind of like a leadership position. You're helping her by taking charge of the situation and making sure that she gets heard, and that's like really important to do.
Yeah, I guess I never thought of it that way. It's pretty cool.
I guess it makes me feel more observant.
Observant of what exactly?
Well, I guess since I'm always checking to see if something is going to upset my brother, I notice certain things more quickly, like how loud the TV is, or if something is about to fall or too close to an edge in case he knocks it over. Even when I'm not with him, I look at stuff like that.
That's a really interesting one. I like that one a lot.
Well, I guess I could focus really well. Like, even if things get crazy around the house, I could still do my homework and play and listen to music. We still get stuff done as a family, and we have some bad days too, but we always bounce back from them.
It sounds like you're a pretty adaptable person. That's good. And sometimes sometimes things can be really difficult to do, and especially in those bad days. It's really hard to just, kind of roll with the punches, but I'm glad you can stay positive about it. So those are all really great skills to have, and I'm sure you all have many, many more. Aside from the skills, though, I'm sure there are some pressures or not so great feelings that come along with having a sibling with autism. Like, for example, when my sister and I were much younger, probably like 8 or 9, she would have like a huge meltdown in the store, and I would feel really embarrassed. People would stare, they'd make not so nice comments about us, and they'd pull their kids away from us. Yeah, it's really hard to handle for a long time. So, have you guys experienced anything like that before? A couple of you?
Yeah.
I was hoping that since more people are learning about autism and how it works, there will be more acceptance and understanding for people with autism, especially as, we all get older. Me and my sister made quite a bit of improvement in this area, so it does help with those feelings, and hopefully there should be future generations won't have to deal with, the stigmatism that comes with it.
I get mad when the kids in my class ignore me when I talk about things me and my sister do. Like, sometimes they just don't understand why certain things make me proud or, like, excited. And it could get really frustrating, and then I don't want to talk to them anymore. I do have a few friends, though, who have met him, and he understands that, but most of my classmates just think I'm weird.
Yeah. So how many of your classmates do you know about autism, do you think?
Well, probably not too many. I guess. I don't think any of them have siblings with autism.
Okay. So pretend I'm one of your classmates who is just like, I don't get it, I don't understand what's with your brother, blah, 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 you know, kids. What would you say to me to make me really start to, like, get it, to, like, understand why it's a big deal?
Well, my first reaction is to just say, like, never mind, move on, focus on something else. But that isn't really going to help anything.
Okay. Can you guys help us figure out a good way to tell others about autism?
Well, autism is a developmental disability, so I tell them that, and that they see and feel things differently than other people. My brother has to work harder than most people to do certain things, and that's why I'm really proud of him.
I'd tell them that they're not stupid, like, because they're not stupid at all. Like, they can do a lot of things. People think they don't know what's going on, but they do, and they just, like, see the world differently.
Yeah, those are some great suggestions. So Val, try to condense what you know about autism and throw it at me, the classmate that doesn't know anything about anything.
Oh, okay. So I'd say, hey, you probably don't know much about autism, but my brother has it, and it just means that he processes things a little bit differently than we do. He's super smart, but he has difficulty doing some things, and we do things a bit differently at our house. It's not a disease, it's just a developmental disorder, and he's pretty awesome. If you want, I'll bring you some of the information handouts I have to make it easier to understand.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I didn't know that about your brother, and it sounds really interesting. Being the classmate. So, now whether they accept your offer of more information or not is totally up to them, but it's really fantastic that you offered, because most people are just like, starting arguments and then they forget about it entirely. So it's really great that you thought about doing that. It's awesome. I was also thinking, if you want to, maybe at some point, if it's available in your class, of doing like a report and share it for your class, and just kind of reach everyone, give them a little bit of information. Now we can do it in more of an academic situation. It's not so personal, and it just kind of not makes them listen, but they at least hear the information. So, would anyone else like to share their feelings?
Yeah, well, I feel like I have to do everything right, so I don't have to worry my mom and my dad. Like I mentioned earlier, sometimes I feel like I'm ignored, but at the same time, I don't want to add any more stress to either one of them.
Okay.
I feel like I have to do really well in school and not get into trouble or anything like that.
Yeah, that can be a lot of pressure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think to an extent we all feel a pressure like that, whether it's to succeed or just not have problems or just to be completely typical, whatever that means. But I hate to stop, I really do. We're almost out of time. And there's one more thing I'd like to go over before the next meeting. I would absolutely love to talk about this at our next meeting, so we can write out some, ways that we can discuss this with our families, because I think we all kind of feel like that. So before we end, I did set up a website. You guys can make a profile on this website, and there's going to be a message board. On this message board, there's going to be like past meetings, what we talked about. There's going to be little sections for you guys to have other conversation not related to autism. You can reply to each other's messages. There's also a link to email me directly if there's like a pressing issue or a question. I check it like every day, so I'll get it back to you. If you miss a meeting, the conversations we had, roughly like a description of them will be on there, so you won't feel left out or behind. What else? Okay, so this is the website, and just sign up. We'll go through it later. You just have to do your username, your birthday, and your password. The same rules for the website are the ones that are here. No swearing, no, vulgar conversations, confidentiality.
Can I post pictures of cats?
You can post pictures of cats as long as they are appropriate pictures of cats, yes.
Okay.
I mean, don't flood the board with cats, but that would be nice, hang in there, cat. So yeah, same rules. If you do break a rule, or if I think it's getting kind of to that point, I do have the power to delete the post, and we'll at least talk to you about it afterwards. I'll send you a message privately, like, this is getting a little bit not so great. But yeah, so that's about it. So check that out when you guys get home. Does everything sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool. All right. In that case, I will see you guys next week. I messed up my page. I apologize. We're going to talk about how to talk about our parents about certain things and what we need in the family dynamic and how to incorporate our siblings into our lives. So I hope you guys have a good week.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.